We're back with a Fox News alert. President Biden comparing the Ukrainian border crisis to ours at the southern border. Listen to this.
The fact that you have so many Ukrainians seeking refuge in this country of Poland. We understand that because we have in our southern border thousands of people a day, literally, not figuratively, trying to get into the United States. But we believe that we, the United States, should do our part relative to Ukraine as well by opening our borders to another 100,000 people.
More than 3 million refugees have already escaped Ukraine, with 2 million seeking asylum in Poland. Meantime, the crisis at our southern border could get worse next week when a Trump-era policy ends sending as many as 170,000 refugees to our ports of entry. I'm going ballistic over the comment of the comparison of a war in Ukraine, Mr. Joey, and the southern border. Do you see that same comparison articulated by the guy who is our president? You see the comparison?
Listen, Leo, it's been a heck of a week. I mean, if this were after a little bit later in the evening, I'll probably use a different word to describe it. I mean, it really has. And it's funny in one hand, but it's also absolutely tragic in another. I mean, this is a person we need to lead our country. I mean, Kamala Harris goes over there, makes an absolute fool of us. We hope the president goes over there with a lot of prep, knowing what had just happened. And instead, we have a couple of days where almost everything he said, the White House has had to fix, correct, or pull back on. And now we're looking at the one domestic policy Americans care a lot about, and he can't get that right either. He can't talk about it in any way that people understand. What we have at our southern border are a lot of people trying to take advantage of the prosperity of our country and the weakness of our border. What they have at the Polish border are people literally running for their lives, not running for a better life, running to be alive. And that's the problem.
And Katie, Title 42 will expire March 30th. That Trump policy that kept people outside the country in a holding tank. They're counting down the days between now and March 30th in order to come across the border. What impact do you see on this happening?
Well, we're going to need words worse than catastrophic to describe what's about to happen. They're thinking 8,000 illegal immigrants every day will start crossing after Title 42 is taken off. And the comments and the comparison made by President Biden are absolutely asinine. What's happening at the southern border is a result of open border policies and multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprises making billions of dollars off of human trafficking as a result of bad policy decisions that could be changed. It's completely predictable. The Biden administration is enabling it. They haven't changed any of their policies despite low morale among Border Patrol, and they haven't changed their perspective despite the fact that Border Patrol agents are seeing violent criminals with convictions of sex offending, murder, coming back and forth into the country and then going into the communities that we see all around America, and yet they haven't changed this. There's no comparison. They could stop this tomorrow, and instead they are choosing to enable it.
Concur 100%. Jackie, look into your crystal ball. It's November of 2022 midterm. Joe Biden is trying to conflate the plight of the Ukrainian people with the southern border. You got, as Katie said, you got gang members coming across the border. The American public might be sympathetic to the Ukrainian people. You think the American people are going to be sympathetic to those crossing the southern border illegally when it comes to the midterms?
Absolutely not. And I think it's actually preposterous what he's doing in making that comparison. It's not to say that there aren't some people coming across the border that are facing certain hardships, but to compare them to the refugees in Poland that literally are having their cities bombed and shelled, that have been forced to flee, is a completely different story. And again, we talk about words matter, analogies matter. This is our commander in chief. And the one thing that I will say is he doesn't say anything about the border. So So at least he actually acknowledged here that he understands that thousands of people are coming across the border every day. That's the most I've heard from him on this issue. But making that analogy is absolutely wrong. And to your question on the midterms, I think people are watching all of this play out. I think they're watching the border crisis, the crisis in Ukraine. They're feeling inflation, all of these issues that we're feeling in our country and across the globe. And it's going to come out in the polls.
I agree. Joe Biden, on your way to Washington, make a pit stop to the southern border because you need to check our border first. It's just maddening, and it's just insulting the intelligence of the American public.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.